What's going on, guys? This is Scoopman 5000. We're back for another action figure review. Last time we looked at a little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho to kick things off, and today we're looking at another hotly anticipated figure. This one's been out for a few weeks, but I figured I'd get to it now. This is the Fiend Bray Wyatt from Elite Series 77. And I gotta say, out of any figure, wrestling or otherwise, this was my most anticipated figure pretty much since we ever saw The Fiend in full glory on that episode of Raw like a year ago. And forever, I was saying, Mattel, stop everything you're doing, get The Fiend out as soon as possible. And, I guess this is the summer that he finally came out. And, I already got a few of them. As you'll come to find out on this channel, I'm a bit of a fucking psycho when it comes to these kind of things. So standard Elite packaging in this newer style for 2020. But we got the SummerSlam motif going on. Of course, this is when The Fiend made his in-ring debut. Hurt and heel hands in the packaging. We got his lantern. And we got the hands. That's all you're going to get in the package. We got True Effects up top here. Elite 77. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. Go to the side, we got an in-ring shot of him at SummerSlam, and on the back, we got his career highlights, Universal Champion, WWE Champion, Raw Tag Team. So they're counting as a pre-Fiend gimmick. And then, of course, a little description. We got the other wrestlers in the wave. Then we got the nice studio shot of Bray Wyatt on this side. So let's get to it and crack open the Fiend. And here is the Fiend Bray Wyatt out of the packaging. And before we get into like a real review of it, obviously this is everything you come with here. So as I, said in the beginning of the video, I'm a psycho, and I have 3 Bray Wyatts so far. So I have this one, got the one that I just showed you in the box, and then the most interesting one here, if we get these accessories out of the way, and we see that we have 2 different kind of, what I would call variants of these Bray Wyatt figures. Now, whether or not you call this a variant is, I guess, a matter of how psycho you are. Now, if this was, a Seth Rollins or something like that, or, really anybody else, I probably wouldn't count these as variants. But for the Fiend Bray Wyatt, for his first ever figure in this gimmick, I had to go and make sure that I had both versions. I actually got this version first off of Ringside Collectibles, and then I went on eBay and I ordered the brown-haired one. And then I had another pre-order from Ringside that came in, the one that was in the box, and you can see that one also has the brown hair. So I believe that this was the first one that came out, or the first one that shipped to people, and then this will be the one going forward. So I'm not sure how I got this one last, the boxed one. But there's no difference with the figures or the accessories you're getting. Actually, even have both lanterns here so you can see they're exactly the same. I guess this is the running change. This is the one that is going to be going forward. But I actually do think I prefer the darker haired one. Now, I know this might be more accurate, but I feel like the blonde is a bit too much. It looks a bit, kind of just looks like he poured shit all over his hair. This one looks a bit more natural. This one looks a bit more natural in my opinion. This will be the preferred display one. Both of them are beautiful figures. I'm glad to have them both. So for review's sake, I'll go with the one that closely resembles the one I just took out of the box here. So we'll go with the darker haired Bray Wyatt. We'll actually take him out of the way. First we'll look at his lantern of the Bray Wyatt, kind of the, the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt, the severed head. Now obviously the Fiend came out at SummerSlam, and I'm pretty sure all of his other Fiend entrances since used this lantern. I guess the idea is that Bray Wyatt killed his former self and now he is the Fiend. But now of course we know with the Swamp Fight, we know that this version of Bray Wyatt is kind of back. And he's doing like the 3 faces of Foley. But even still, it's a beautiful piece, and the only real accessory we get, but I think it's probably one of the more essential ones for your display. The only one other accessory I think would have been better is a jacket for him. But I think that'll come. We got a future Ultimate coming of the Fiend, and I'm sure we'll get plenty more. At least I hope so. And any new Bray Wyatt figure you're going to make, I'm going to buy it. So for now, we have the head lantern, and that's real cool. And then, of course, we do have the interchangeable hands. So we got... this is the heel hand right here, and this is the hurt hand. And we got really some great detail on these, and of course we got the open hands that are on the figure already. But let's take a look at, obviously, the main piece you're getting, and that is the Fiend Bray Wyatt himself. And I've seen some complaints about the figure, kind of nitpicks, I guess. For me, this is perfect. This is exactly what I would have wanted for the first ever Elite Bray Wyatt in the Fiend gimmick. So, taking a look, we'll start at the head. That's probably the most important part of your Fiend Bray Wyatt figure. So getting a look at the Fiend mask in person, I've actually seen that like this is a different mask than the one that he actually wrestled in. It's like a promotional image that they had it based on. To most people, including myself, you're not really going to notice like a huge discrepancy with this. I noticed a bit right here that looks kind of off, like some white went over. I don't know if that's accurate to the Fiend mask, but I think it's on both of mine. It's a bit less noticeable on the running change one, but you could still see it kind of there. And then of course you got the red eyes showing through, and you got the teeth. And you could actually see a little bit of a mouth sculpted in there. I think it's just painted in black. But overall, that's a beautiful head sculpt. Great hair as well on him. Soft, it's not going to get in the way of any posing. Head to the back. You got the straps. You got a little piece of hair down there. But everything is beautifully detailed, as you'd expect on a brand new Mattel Elite figure. Really knocking the Elites out of the park in the last couple of years with the true effects and these face sculpts. And then we'll move down to the torso. So of course we got, I believe this is a new body for this Bray Wyatt figure, and I'm sure we'll see it on some future Bray Wyatts. But we see we got some great tattoo work going all across the chest, the shoulders, the back of the neck, everything like that. And we can't forget about those arm tattoos. So we got over here, we got some nice blue, orange, yellow kind of highlights mixed in with the black and white tattoos. On the other side, it's pretty nice that we got his older tattoo, and then we got the, you know, that red streak that's kind of more bright going through that. Some darker, newer tattoos here, all the way down to the arm. And of course we got the gloves. So these are the open hands where he's kind of going to be able to put them up to his face and make his decision, hurt, heal. So we got, again, great details on this like they were on those fisted hands for holding the lantern. And then moving down to the pants. So this is probably the weakest part of the figure because there's no sculpt here. This is all just a smooth piece, you know, like a trunks piece. But we got the painted on belt. Then we go to the back, we got these painted on pockets. Down to the legs, this is some nice sculpting work. This has to be some brand new pieces for the Fiend. We got the black and red stripes going down, of course. And then down at the boots, pretty standard Mattel stuff you're gonna see. We've seen these boots a million times on a million different Elites, but we do have the little red streak there to signify the kick pads. Then to go into articulation, the head is gonna do normal ball joint articulation. It's gonna go back, not really much at all. And forward you can get a pretty decent amount, but the hair is going to look a little stupid. Then for the torso, we're going to go back that much. We're going to go forward that much. Shoulders and the arms, these are, again, standard Mattel fare. So we got the joint there. Bicep cut. We got the elbow that's going to go 90 degrees. And then we got the hands that twist around, and they're going to bend this much. You got the standard waist swivel. And then you got a ball joint on the legs here. You got a thigh cut. You got a double jointed knee. That's a pretty good knee on this figure. Then we do have the boot cut. Always an issue with these foot on these Mattel figures. Kind of separated sculpt there. So that's your look at the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Now we're going to do some comparisons with some other wrestling Mattel figures. So here is Bray Wyatt with the recent basic Seth Rollins and a basic Roman Reigns. And then here he is with an Elite Seth Rollins and an Elite Roman Reigns. Here he is with Woken Matt Hardy and Ultimate Edition Demon Finn Balor. Here he is with the Wyatt Family Elite Braun Strowman, who is towering over the screen. And we got the Wyatt Family Elite Daniel Bryan. Here he is with the OG Wyatt Family. These are Elite 29 Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. And then this is the coolest comparison you can make is with the Elite 28. This is the original Bray Wyatt Elite figure, and I even got them set up with their lanterns. Of course, the Bray Wyatt, or this is actually from Eric Rowan, but it came with the chair. And you see that the original Bray Wyatt actually does stand taller than the Fiend, even if you go and take off his hat. It looks like he's still gonna have a little bit of height on him. Here you can see his right arm, you can compare the tattoos there. And then here is the left arm, and you can see he's got way more tattoos in his forearm, and he's got some cover-up work on the top here. You see that red streak going through the arm. It's a good comparison. Of course, the chest tattoo, totally different. And then here you can see the back tattoos, and you see a much wider stance on this newer Bray Wyatt, which I think is much better. So that's going to do it for the Elite 77 Fiend Bray Wyatt. This is going to be a 10 out of 10 figure for me. I got no complaints really, and of course we're going to get way more Fiends in the future to correct any little issues that we have here and there with the figure. But overall, if you're any kind of wrestling figure collector, you owe it to yourself to get the Fiend Bray Wyatt. So that's going to do it for this review. If you like these kind of reviews, you can stay right here on the Scoopman 5000 YouTube channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next action figure review.